Let me ask you a question. Let me tell you the little slick shit we like to do. And I can tell you this. You know we know who gonna drop and when they gonna drop and all that, right? You know we avoid dropping on dates that other motherfuckers gonna drop.
They
right?
still
I'm
do
gonna
it.
tell you. Yeah, so what I say to say this, he didn't really start and you know what? Let me correct myself, Glasses, because as an underground artist, those were great numbers. But when we talking about when he crossed that threshold, that was Death Row.
Of course, but
that
I
was
don't. But I remember us being super hyped because Pac had signed to Death Row, and Death Row was the biggest thing in music. But it's not like we didn't look at Tupac as a superstar then. Like when what we talking about, so we talking I Get Around, we talking Dear Mama, all of these pre-Death Row. So it's like we can't like act like that's
no,
like
we're
that.
not saying he didn't have great music. We saying him
man.
versus
That's
Snoop Dogg. We're not saying Pac didn't have great music. I don't think nobody fixed their mind to say that.
Yeah, none of that.
Yeah, we're not even comparing songs. We're saying that Ice Cube versus Tupac pre-Death Row, Cube
is bigger. I agree.
Is bigger.
I know. I agree.
That's all they said.
Yeah, I think that's the truth.
Yeah, Cube was the biggest rapper in the world for a couple of years. He was the number one. Snoop actually took that from him, but then Pac took it from Snoop.
No, nobody ever. No, man. No,
yes, he did.
No,
he
man.
Did.
Nobody. Listen, man.
How did he take it?
Listen, nobody could ever take anything from Snoop. Is the pinnacle of hip hop. You either reach his status, feel me, or you don't. There is nothing bigger or greater than Snoop Dogg. That's the point of the conversation. The reason Pac that's the truth. It's not
one
disagreeable.
motherfucker. Let me tell you something. It's only. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I put that white boy on the side of him because that he's mega. Eminem, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That motherfucker wake up 8 years later, drop some shit, that bitch still going 4-5 million. So he there. He's been there. And I'm gonna be real. When it comes to touring and shit like that, I think Royce on here, he could agree that Snoop ain't getting that. He ain't getting that Eminem money. So we can't. I ain't gonna say everybody.
What I'm saying is, right? Snoop is the pinnacle within hip hop. Eminem is different. Like as much as
what you mean by pinnacle? Because Cube is the one started this shit.
No. I'm not knocking none of that. I'm saying, well, I ain't gonna do Ice-T like that neither. But I'm saying the pinnacle of it. Snoop's success is the height, right? And then there's people that you can maintain brands, you can do things, right? But Snoop is the pinnacle of where you can reach in hip hop. There's no artist greater. Now, I'm not saying there's not. Like Jay-Z right now has a different appeal than Dog, right? When they putting out records.
Yeah, totally different.
Or M has a different appeal putting out records and shit. But that don't mean neither one is greater than Dog.
But glasses. That's not
popularity.
But you're saying the wrong thing. What you're saying is there's no moment greater. Because
Dog is not a moment.
No, I'm not saying he's a moment. Like,
well, first of all, we can't compare that because Dog's still here and Pac ain't.
That's what I'm saying. And by the way, even having said that, Tupac has sold a whole lot more records than Snoop has.
Well, that's just based on death.
Well, I mean,
because that's death.
Well, but
yeah,
I mean now,
yeah.
But now, so here so like, what's the metric then? Right, so like
you can't because at the time he died, his record sales wasn't with well, he had the All Eyes on Me did what it did, but
then Machiavelli. Yeah. But then and we being real, after Doggy Style, or I guess Murder Was the Case, Snoop caught a cold snap.
No, he didn't. What cold snap did he catch?
What cold snap did he catch?
Yes, he did.
No, he caught one. No, he caught one when he went over there and put the fatigues on. When he put the fatigues on at No Limit, we bagged glasses. We was kind of like, nigga, Dog, what you doing over there?
Yeah, but then again,
no. Can I say one thing real quick?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you. That's not entirely true. Snoop did catch a cold snap when he came to the Dog Father.
Wait. That's hold on.
I'm not finished.
Listen.
I don't know. I fuck with the Dog Father.
Listen, hold up.
Listen, hold up. You let me say 4 words.
Because y'all can't say a nigga that sold 2 million records.
But I was trying to actually
called a
circle
cold
back.
stint. Okay.
Can I circle back around, please?
Go ahead, Jess.
I think in terms of the mainstream appeal, and I can only speak on my side. We were not checking for the dog father, right? When he came back around, what I disagreed with was I think somebody said when he went to No Limit, nobody was paying attention. No Limit.
Yeah, we weren't fucking with that.
Got you. But when he, in my opinion, and what I saw, what I was a part of, what I witnessed, was very different when he went around to No Limit. Not necessarily because we love No Limit, but in my opinion, and I think you'd be surprised to see that a lot of people might agree with this opinion. The level of productions by the time he got to the last meal
didn't fit.
And those records,
that shit didn't fit, bro.
It didn't fit.
I highly
Just that shit didn't fit.
It didn't
fit. Lay Low didn't fit. That whole last meal.
The last meal is on Death Row.
That stuff is okay.
I mean, no, the last meal is on. Excuse me, on No Limit. The last meal is on No Limit.
But like that stuff before that. And by the way, I'm from Baton Rouge, so when we got when Snoop was a free agent acquisition out the ass, we was going crazy. That, to be honest with you, as big as P and them have been before then, when it was the biggest thing, they changed our state forever. When Snoop walked out of the MTV Awards with No Limit, he legitimized us to a degree. Like hold on. No.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
hold on. Stacey Adams.
Wait. Slow down.
All of those records. You're saying that none of those records were resonating? I'm just trying to get clarification.
What does he mean that they legitimize? You saying New Orleans?
No, not New Orleans. I'm from Baton Rouge. What I'm saying is that it was hard for us to. I'll put you like this. So
we can't forget about Cash Buddy and motherfucking
that's
Juvie and motherfucking BG and all that. You can't.
But see, this is what I'm saying. So all of that music, we looked at that as being our music, right? That was Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi. That was our shit. Like all of them records that dropped after they went major, we have been listening to them records 2-3 years. We didn't realize, to me personally, I speak for myself, I didn't realize how big No Limit was getting. I remember waking up one morning, seeing a dude running down the top 5 albums in the country on Headline News, and he goes, number 2, Ghetto D by Master P. I was like, what the fuck? Had no clue. When they got Snoop, it didn't seem like niggas from around the way who was super popping and had their videos played on Rap City. They had got the number 1 rapper in the fucking world to come to their label.
You just said what Glasses said, though. So no. What you just said supports what Glasses said.
No.
Number 1 rapper in the world.
Right. But he wasn't. But what I'm saying is this. I'm saying when I say the number 1 rapper in the world, I mean he had been that. Like Snoop was that type of nigga.
Exactly.
That's what Glasses said. That's
no. But he wasn't that when he came.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Really, because really at that time, Big was bigger.
Pac was already dead.
No, Big was dead, dog. Big was dead.
They was even dead or alive.
No, that's not. They're not bigger. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all
looking at the world through West Coast colored glasses.
No, we're not.
Wait.
Hey, Van, what's wrong with the West Coast?
Hey, Big only put out 1 album. Let's get that right. Before he died, the second one came out after his demise.
He did it before he died. That doesn't make any sense.
But Big ain't better. Big, listen. Big ain't bigger than Snoop Dogg. That's just crazy.
Fuck no, come on.
That's just ridiculous. In no time, and no place in the globe is Big. Big ain't bigger than Snoop in fucking Brooklyn.
Big was bigger than Pac at the time.
All right, Glasses. Let's relax.
I'm getting flashbacks. To the Dave Mays night.
Big wasn't bigger than Pac at the time of his demise. Pac was ahead of him, I believe.
I think they were. I think they were equal. I think the beat equaled it out.
Y'all tripping.
We need some East Coast people in here. It's too much West Coast. It's too much West Coast energy. Subjective conversation.
Mouse, Van,
listen, Big
Page is East Coast. Just Blaze is East Coast.
Are you saying an album sale? Well, get it wrong. Pac is an East Coast.
Since when do we?
No. He ain't us. No, he ain't us. Pac is not ours. He's y'all's.
Wack
No.
East Coast nigga. That's
No, Wack. Y'all gotta keep him.
Yeah, we gonna keep
West Coast nigga.
No, y'all gotta keep Pac. Don't give him to us. That's y'all.
Yeah, we gonna keep him.
Yo, hey, I got a question, guys.
If either one of y'all not using Pac, the South will take him. Because I don't know why we acting like Tupac.
Hold on, watch that for the kill him all. Let me kill him all. What penitentiary did the West Coast nigga bail him out from? Huh? What penitentiary did he get bailed out from?
Niggas get locked up every day.
No. Nigga, I done been to 9 different motherfucking penitentiaries. All on the West Coast.
You ain't running to him? You ain't running to him whacking none of them prisons? You ain't running to him?
Here we go again.
What penitentiary?
Whack, did you run into him?
Tupac has never.
Clinton
Correctional. Stay in jail out here. Okay, that is East Coast.
Yo,
I think it's actually in Indiana. Where was it? In Indiana or some shit like Indiana?
No, Clinton is in New York.
That's New York. That's New York.
Hey, yo, Van. I got questions. So back to what this room says that it is. I'm just curious about this. Just trying to bring it back to what you guys initially talked about. I'm curious of where you guys stand on who was more impactful, Cube or Pac.
Ice Cube. Impactful, nigga. You for real?
Who's more impactful?
Hold on, let Van answer. Van, who is it?
To me, there's different levels of impact. I mean, Cube had impact that Pac obviously didn't get a chance to have. But Cube is still one of the hugest entities in terms of pop culture because he got movies, he got all of that stuff like that.
No, we're not
talking
about
that. In terms of just rap legacy, it's Tupac.
Come on, man.
Records.
Are you out
records? It's Tupac.
Hey, listen, Tupac whole movement. Watch this. Okay, watch this. Tupac whole movement was built on his family's Black Panther ties, correct? Oh, can we agree on that? He spoke a lot. He spoke on that shit.
I think that's
he spoke on that shit. Hold on. He spoke on that a lot, right? Cube was already
we knew about that.
All that shit. Wait, hold on.
Wasn't the basis of his shit.
Man, that nigga come on that motherfucker.
No, the early Tupac definitely leaned on those Black Panthers.
Come on, bro, with that bullshit.
The early Tupac isn't what really impacted though.
Is there anybody
in this room?
Hey, is there anybody in this room that fuck with Pac? I just want to know.
I love Pac.
Everybody fuck with Pac.
Don't say everybody. Don't say everybody. Don't say
everybody. Who in this room? Okay,
I don't think Wack like Pac.
That's not true. Wack like Pac. Wack like Pac.
Wait, let me correct this. Who said that? Who said that?
Who said what?
Who said what?
Now you don't think Wack like Pac?
Oh no, I was kidding.
Listen, let me explain something to y'all just to let y'all know. And y'all can get LT Hutton and Benny Boom on it. That motherfucking movie would have never came out if it wasn't for Wack. Everybody know I control that Death Row catalog at E1. That's why that motherfucking date kept changing. I had to go up in there and bully them people to make them release that music so that movie could come out. Secondly, Wack was the biggest motherfucking promo for that motherfucking movie. And the day it came out, I gave away $3,000 of tickets to go see the movie. So if y'all didn't catch on what the play was...
Which movie, OG? Which movie you talking about, OG?
All Eyes on Me.
It's only one Tupac movie.
You talking about Above the Rim or Juice?
You're talking about All Eyes on Me, bro.
It's only one Tupac movie.
Ooh, Royce ain't right. He ain't right.
No. I'm not. What
He's not being
about,
funny.
Man? Hey man, y'all Tupac naysayers. Don't throw me in that category. I love Pac. I'm dead serious asking the OG.
So what y'all not understanding is when I know it's a shortage of marketing and promo, and I say, all right, y'all just follow my lead. Nigga, Wack had the whole world and on some real shit. If I would have went in on the editing, y'all would have seen some crazy shit.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Real shit.
Pardon me, Wack. What movie are you referring to?
That's what I want to know.
All Eyes
on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
The biggest promo was Wack talking shit. And I really wasn't talking shit. I was just saying shit. Right? But guess what that made y'all do? Everybody talking about the movie coming out. Everybody talking about the movie coming out.
I mean, to be real with you, a major motion picture on Tupac's life was gonna have the entire attention of the entire culture.
Hey, listen, bro. If that was the case, that bitch wouldn't have sold what it sold because it flopped in the theaters.
Well, that's a different story. Like we were like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Van and Wack, y'all mics is messed up.
That's the same story, Van. That's the same story.
Y'all on Bluetooth or something? It sounds fucked up, Van and Wack.
Yeah, Van's mic sounds crazy.
You sound distant too, Black.
Hold on, let me
I
turn
think
my.
that's just the app. I hear them.
Yeah,
clear.
And yo, just
so,
to
you
go
know,
back to the topic of the room.
I'm a Pac
real
fan
quick.
though. Don't get it fucked up. I can rap about 20 of them songs. I'm a Tupac
Everybody breathing air is a Tupac fan.
No, we are not. Stop saying that.
Who is we are now?
Mouse,
Who said they're not a
Mouse,
Tupac fan?
you're
Mouse, you're not a Tupac fan?
I would not identify myself as a Tupac
How
fan.
old are you, Mouse?
I'm 31.
Mouse New York as hell though.
Yeah,
Mouse,
yeah,
he a New York nigga.
Pac
for
been
sure.
done, but Pac been dead damn near longer he been living.
Nah, Pac died. Nah, I was alive when Pac died.
Nigga, you 31. Nigga, Pac been dead, what, 25, 26 years?
I remember, I was still cognizant. I was there. I seen when
you were 6 years old when that nigga died.
You was watching Ed and Eddie.
Nah,
cut that out. You were 6 years old when that nigga died.
Yeah, but you gotta remember my parents.
Come on, my nigga. So he don't even count.
My parents was
20, that nigga was 6 years old when that man died.
Nigga, Soldier Boy was Mouse Hero.
Exactly.
There you go.
Page.
Shout out to Eric B in the room, yo. Eric B's on the stage, y'all.
Shout out to the guy.
Shout out to the great one.
Shout out to the God, Eric.
Eric B, salute.
I can rap all them motherfucking songs too.
I just turned 43. I will go on record. I was not a Pac fan. He had songs that I liked. I didn't really like him like that until what?
Oh, gee, it's cool if no New York nigga fuck with Pac.
It wasn't about that. I didn't care where you was from. Like I'm not. We had this discussion already during.
We talk about his music, just not him as a person. His music,
and so am I. We here to talk about music, right?
Yeah, we talk.
Okay,
music.
so that's what I'm speaking on.
All right.
I'm just being 100% honest. He had songs that I like. I did not really start to really fuck with him heavy until right when Hit 'Em Up came out. And I'm not speaking for my area, my coast.
Well, that's Death Row days. So we fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? The West breathed life into that man. Everybody can agree to that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
That said, my younger brother, who was 2 years younger than me, had all the tapes. He loved Pac. For me personally, it didn't resonate. I liked the singles for the most part. When I heard him on Hit 'Em Up, that was the first time that I was like, yo, he can really rhyme. And maybe that was because
I like Hit 'Em Up until the end. He fucked the whole song up because I don't condone killing kids. So I didn't like that. My 4-4, make sure all your kids grow up and keep it gangster. And Eric know where I'm coming from. We don't fuck around with that kind of shit. That kind of lost me.
Agree with you on that. I'm just saying that was the first time that I actually heard him, and I was like, oh, he can actually rap, which is something that as East Coasters.
You mean to tell me you didn't know Pocket rap until Hit 'Em Up? You tripping?
So you didn't like nothing on Me Against the World? Like, did you listen to me?
Well, it was
and the thing is,
the beef brought just to the table. The beef brought you to the table.
The beat actually didn't bring me to the table. It was his energy, the way he came off on that record.
Well, that was a diss record in the middle of a feud, so it felt like, you know what I'm saying, maybe you wasn't really beef.
Nah.
I mean, you think that was one of his stronger verbal?
All I'm saying is that's where it got my attention to him as being able to put bars together. That's all.
And then did you go back? Did you go back and start listening to his discography?
I'm not mad at that.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
You talking to Just Blaze though? That he different.
That's a different ear. Yeah,
that's a whole nother kind of ear.
And I know a lot of dudes who love heavy production that didn't fuck with Pac because they didn't like the beats.
The beats was whack. But listen, I had a cold.
He had a cold.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that.
Y'all niggas crazy.
I had a cold epiphany the other day. I was thinking of what's Nas' greatest song. His greatest song.
I mean, come on, don't do that, bro. Don't.
I did.
Nah,
listen.
I gave you
power. It's about to be a radio hit.
I know you ain't questioning Nas, man.
It's what you say.
Don't do
what's
that.
What's your price? Nas featuring Timberland and Genuine.
No.
Yeah.
You owe me.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Nigga. Come on, Nas is one of the greats, my nigga.
Nas is amazing. Otherworldly.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You gonna
let him go. Let him go. Go ahead.
Eric, I ain't fucking with him, man.
I ain't fucking
Listen,
with
Just.
that nigga tripping.
Listen, Just.
Wow.
I feel you.
Tripping.
Only
Nas.
That nigga
America.
tripping.
Hey,
Hold up,
hey,
cuz.
this,
Let me
hey,
say
hey,
it.
I ain't never seen Wack. Wack got off the car immediately. Hey, I just so
I ain't
y'all
fucking
know,
with
I ain't
that,
no
Let me
bro.
mystery.
out,
Yeah, that's
dog.
Nas,
Let
nigga.
me
What are
out,
you
dog.
talking about?
Let me out, dog. Let me out, dog. No, look.
I'm gonna say
No,
what?
listen,
Look, rewind. Look, listen. Hey,
Yo,
Hey,
let me out, dog.
Hey, listen. Hey, I'm just gonna let's say rewind. After that, I ain't even gonna talk. Wow.
The greatest Nas song is Ether.
What?
Man, that's a diss record.
It's the
That's a diss
greatest
record.
Nas song.
Okay, hold
That's
on,
a diss record.
hold
And that
on. Before y'all
motherfucker,
do
when it
that,
got as big as it got,
hold on. Hey, I want to know Just Blaze's opinion on that, please.
Just he ain't agreeing with that.
We literally just discussed this last night, right? And this is my bias completely removed. Obviously, we know my history. That's irrelevant right now, right? In my opinion, people, I think part of the reason Ether gets held in a certain esteem is because people were comparing it to the last thing that what was it? Super Ugly, which should have never happened.
No.
Super Ugly came out after Ether.
Man, Glasses, shut up. Let him.
I'm aware.
I want to hear this. Go ahead.
I'm well aware. I was there, literally, right?
That had to be a cold place to be.
To me, the matchup is, and it was. To me, the matchup is Ether and Takeover. I don't see how anybody can fix their face to see that from an entire standpoint, lyrics, production, presentation, the whole thing, that Takeover or that Ether was a better record. But what I will say, in my opinion, is Ether got put on a certain pedestal because nobody, us included, expected Nas to come back the way that he did. To the degree
Shout out to DJ K Slay, because he the only motherfucker had the balls to spin that bitch. Eric, I think Eric, and shout out to K Slay.
No doubt.
Because they told the whole
So to me, if you put
the whole radio station, and K Slay said, fuck that, this hip hop, we gonna get this shit some burns. So shout out to K Slay.
The drama king, nigga.
To me, if you put song for song, no, I don't think Ether is a better record. But I understand why in that moment it was perceived as such, because nobody expected that strong of a comeback from him. And he, even though the beat was really what it was, he was saying some shit.
Hey, just so question.
Well,
I got
hold
a
up.
question
Y'all
based on what
niggas
you
is crazy.
just said. Question based on what you said.
Y'all niggas, this needs to be a celebrity boxing match.
Hold on. I got a question based
heard.
on what just said. I got a question. So would you agree, just that based on someone's expectation of their skill and or art form, that would affect someone's impact in the culture?
1,000%. If somebody,
okay, so basically,
it's a David. Let me just fully answer that question.
Okay, go ahead.
Give me some more context for that response. There's a reason why people love the Star Wars story. There's a people why people love the David and Goliath story. There's a people why people love the Matrix story, right? It's the story of the chosen one that nobody expected to rise up to the occasion and meet that challenge. So automatically, if Jay's on top of the roll at that point, and Nas is kind of being looked at as the underdog, and Nas comes out with some shit that does make an impact, he's going to get extra points for that, because people, it's not about people thinking Nas is whack by any means. No, that's not what I'm saying. But people may be like, yo, I didn't expect him to hit that hard. You're going to get extra points for hitting harder.
So you're saying the record is actually not as good. It's just more of the fact of his positioning.
Exactly.
And the confidence.
I think it's a combination of both, 1,000%.
But that's what battling is, brother.
And that's why I gave Glasses some pushback on what he said about the Cube and Pac thing. I think that people just didn't expect that, and so that's kind of what that's my perspective too.
Let's look at our modern day battles that we have right now in the form of verses, right? Which we know for the most part are peaceful, celebrations as opposed to opposition. The way that those, even though nobody ever declares themselves a winner on stage or gets declared a winner in the stream itself, a lot of times the audience picks a winner, and that's mostly based on what you counter with. So when people say, "Oh, Swiss played this," oh shit, but Tim played that, or T-Pain played this, and I forget who, Ludacris or whoever it was, played that. It's about what you counter with matters.
I don't
Yeah,
think verses.
I agree with that, but you know, the counter was Ether from Takeover, and then the counter to Ether was Super Ugly, and people wasn't really feeling that.
But what's the conversation? Is the conversation who won the battle? Is the conversation which records were better? Because we might be moving goalposts.
Glasses said the record was great, and I think that's what makes the record great. The timing of it.
And more than anything, it's Nas's most impactful record. That's what I'm saying. That's his greatest.
I don't agree with that, but I agree that it's great.
But just listen. Listen.
Nas got records, man.
Listen.
This is like a month long.
Hold up,
Just been on.
Just I won't even say just. I ain't never listen. Just ass whack, ass head, as crook.
I'm a Nas fan though, so you know I'm not gonna put him in a box.
I ain't never drank. I ain't never smoked. I ain't did nothing. So when I'm telling you this is, I've been looking, I study, and I listen, and I'm reading, and I'm paying attention. So what I'm saying is, when I'm saying it's his greatest record, right? Great meaning a combination of successful, a great mean impact, great mean influential, style, everything. It's not just as simple as the song that Mouse think is dope or the beat that just like. It's a combination of all of those things.
That's the only reason that anybody would even pay attention to what I would have to say is because of the same things that you're mentioning. I don't look at songs just from a production standpoint.
So what I'm saying is when you take into account where Ether was, right? Ether was, there's not a greater or more impactful song to the whole hip hop culture, not just to New York, because y'all kind of sometimes like trap yourself in this bubble and then that whole experience become everybody else's, and that ain't true. Like that's Illmatic, you feel me? That's y'all experience.
Oh, we already had that conversation.
I know, right? And the rest of hip hop, right? The greatest Nas record is Ether. It literally propelled Stillmatic. The actual term became a part of the culture. Right now, a nigga be like Pusha T, Ether, Dre. That's a part of the culture. It made Stillmatic. It pushed Stillmatic to multi-platinum, which is one of Nas's most successful records. It literally was in response to probably somebody who's at the pinnacle of hip hop permanently. It's everything that greatness rep. I don't know what else is greater. Like what about
If I Ruled the World?
Exactly.
And it was written.
That's my point.
It was written. It ain't hard to tell. There's too many.
No. It ain't hard. Listen. It ain't hard to tell. Ain't one. I'm with that.
And that might be a matter of where you were at when that record came out. This is what I'm trying to say. I think right now we are sliding past ticking boxes that we can all agree upon, and we're verging back to where we were at a few weeks ago, where it's opinion. And I can't argue your opinion because if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Well, greatness has measurable tangibles.
Right.
Greatness has not because
it's still subjective. Because
but I'm saying it has measurable things.
So
like,
this is what I say.
All right, let me ask Glasses a question.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick about Ether that before we leave. Like, so when I listen to East Coast dudes, a lot of times they talk about Ether, especially if they're I'm not accusing you of being biased or nothing, but especially if they're J fans, they'll talk about Takeover. They'll talk about Takeover was a better record, right? But I think the real thing about Ether is that he did something on Ether that no one had ever did before, and no one has actually done since. Is that he came on that record? He sunned Jay-Z. He came on the record and said, "Nigga, you been on my dick, nigga. You love my style, you love me." And to be honest with you, that was true. And so because hold on.
Van said that was true.
Wait. Why would you say that?
The reality was Jay-Z throughout his career had been mentioning Nas. He bigged up Nas. He used Nas' voice on his first. All of that shit.
He used his rhyme.
But wait a second.
Statements. I'm gonna wait a second, but I need you to quantify your statements. He used the hook on Dead Presidents. Yes. What are your other references?
Well, the other reference is who's the best nigga, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
So you have two.
So I have two. So when Nas comes, what Nas
yeah, but
says
Van,
is,
you're saying that throughout his whole career he was
no, when I'm
right.
that's two
That's my thing.
that's
Is you
like
brought
that's
up
two.
you have
So what?
you have two references, but you just made
Okay, let's
a
say
very
one's a,
grandiose.
All he
one's
need
a,
is
yo,
one.
one's a sample and one's an actual reference.
Yeah,
okay,
but all
so
he need is one, though, bro.
Hey, let him finish his
hold on.
point.
Let me finish. One's a sample on your first song that you ever put out to the masses, right? So the first time,
Incorrect. That's not his first song he ever put out to the masses.
first time I heard him. So like, and I'm like,
so you qualify as the masses now, guys.
No, well, I qualify as where I'm from.
Hawaiian Soul,
Like,
bro,
like
that's just
nobody know. Like, bro, well, y'all can say
Van,
whatever y'all
all
want to
they're
say.
saying
Okay,
is that
fuck it.
that's not his first record that he put out. That's all they're saying.
Well,
But I
fine.
think that's what everybody doing. What Van's doing is what Glasses is doing.
So, but if let me finish
he's
saying
telling you how it resonated in the South.
So let me finish saying what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, when Nas comes on there and starts talking his shit, when I'm saying he's Son and Hov, I'm saying he is talking to Jay-Z in a way. By this point, Jay-Z is invincible, right? He's talking to a way in Jay-Z that seemed blasphemous, and it seemed like he was backing it up. It seemed like he was going, nigga, you trying to talk to me, you trying to get on me like all of this stuff like this, but you fucking love me, and listen to me verbally abuse you for the next X amount of time. And the reality of that is nobody had ever come at him like that. Nobody has still ever came at him like that.
You realize you're proving my point, right?
I agree with your point, but what I'm saying is that, like, I agree with the point that it was unexpected, because I remember it was unexpected. But what I'm saying is, when you look at a record, right, especially in that instance, in that circumstance, it's about more than just the numbers or figures of like which album is produced better, who had like it. There's also all of this shit is really about emotion. And if you can come out and capture people's emotion with how you say what you say, with what you're saying, if you can make them say, nah, you fucked over them, you won. And that and to be honest with you, that's the whole thing. If we all battling, right, and technically you're better and you're doing all of this, whoever gets the crowd to go, ooh, they win. So all of that other shit that people say about Takeover, it don't matter.
But I don't want to reduce this conversation. I don't want to reduce this conversation to Takeover versus Ether. That's obvious who won that battle. That's not even a conversation.
Hey, Glasses. Let me ask you something real quick before you switch subjects. Yo, because I always want to know this, and while I got all y'all in the room, I want to see somebody's opinion on this. Why come everybody always talk about Super Ugly, and they dislike for it, and they never talk about the Nas when Nas ironically rapped over the Paid in Full, that diss song. I mean, that don't count as one of the counters.
No, I think that one doesn't get looked at. I think the one that, if people do even remember a second Nas diss, they probably refer to You're the Man off of Stillmatic.
Yeah, I never even heard it.
Yeah, but Super Ugly.
But to see that's interesting.
Or the Blue too. That was better too.
As somebody who was there, I actually forgot about that, and that's not disrespecting Nas.
Yeah, and I never heard it.
Yeah, so after Ether, it kind of gets quiet, right?
It was a knockout. It was a knockout.
Yo, that was that one Crooked Eyes talking about was the first like real shot where it was like super direct.
Right. Yeah, I think that was what was that on?
It was over the Paid in Full beat.
No, but what
that was on one. That was on one of those weird mixtapes. I think it was I don't even know. I don't even know where.
It was like a sampler. It was like a sampler.
Is that the H to the Omo rapper version of Cisco one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But feel me. But I don't want to get lost in that battle. That battle was clearly won by Nas. Hov is my guy. I love it. But that Nas won that battle. That's not a big deal. We passed that. That was a knockout. I'm saying.
But the war is a different story.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get into wars.
I'm fucking with you. Go ahead, Glasses.
I don't want to get into wars. This is not cool. But look, but no, listen. I'm saying Ether, right? Now, Nick, you made a point. They're like, that is true. Now, if I Ruled the World is in that conversation, right? Because of the commercial success and what it's doing. But I'm saying when you start talking about the greatest Nas record to the complete culture of hip hop, right? That's why it's important that y'all really take our opinion of it from where y'all at as well. Because
let me ask you an Illmatic question, Glass. Okay.
I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
No. I want to ask you. This is pertinent to you because I understand where you're coming from for real.
Hilarious.
So like, the 20-year anniversary of the release of Illmatic, Nas closes out the Coachella stage and performs the whole album. What do you say to that as it pertains to the entire culture?
Shit, I don't know. I mean, the hell you want me to say?
Is that not arguably the biggest? Is that not arguably the biggest stage in the culture right now?
Hell no, Coachella ain't no hip hop shit. That shit's some alternative pop shit. That is not the culture.
What's bigger?
That's the point. It's Illmatic.
Coachella stage.
Yeah, what's bigger?
What's bigger than Coachella coming hip hop is what's that shit we do?
I don't anything.
Rolling Loud.
Rolling
Loud. Hip hop.
Yeah, this is before Rolling Loud was the thing.
But I'm saying
this is Illmatic at 20 years.
But Coachella's not a hip hop place.
I mean, it ain't like he was elected. It ain't like motherfuckers took a vote on him, wanted him to do the shit.
Yeah, he didn't go to the Garden and do it like.
Yeah, that's just what
Coachella not.
But I see, like Coachella ain't a big event.
But
that's a big.
Y'all tripping because if it was just a local album, that wouldn't even be possible.
Nick, I'm saying.
Can I further that?
But let me just verify the point Nick is saying. Like, and this is what I'm saying, just. Over the time, right, of New York niggas shoving that shit, East Coast niggas shoving that shit down our throat, that it had became.
You're really worried about the wrong shit.
Listen.
I fuck with Nas.
Feel me,
God damn.
Feel me. No, listen,
Glasses. I say this with love and respect, even though you and I don't know each other like that. We have a lot of mutual people, and I fuck with you, right? But sometimes we have these debates that come down to East Coast versus West. You sound like a scorned child sometimes. Like
I fuck with Nas.
Listen, it's not about Nas. Listen,
but you're talking about.
I mean, I fuck with New York music from a kid though. Like I can recite Eric B. and Rakim songs, EPMD songs,
right. But the
boy songs, Kool Mo D. Like you know what I mean.
So but the perspective that I get a lot from Glasses is like y'all were forcing us. That shit, like he just did it right now. And I'm like, bro.
Specific record. Listen, you never heard me say that about Ho. You never heard me say that about Big. You never heard me say that about Wu-Tang. You never heard me say that about Ill. Y'all not
but
just
But I've heard it a lot.
One specific album, specific album. Okay. Y'all have shoved that shit down the rest of hip hop's throats. So listen,
y'all, who is this? Who is this? Y'all.
The people who control the press, which is New York, the culture controls hip hop.
They're not on here right now.
Just listen. So when I'm saying y'all, I'm not literally you. This is not a personal conversation. This is,
of course.
Let me preach. Let me get a sermon. Let me get a sermon. So what I'm saying is, y'all have shoved that shit down our throats so much that everybody now knows Illmatic.
Nah, you tripping. Niggas knew that shit when that shit dropped at midnight. You tripping. It was written kind of guy, but you know, I digress.
That's
my point.
It was written was way better.
That's been an interesting conversation.
And way more impactful and way bigger.
It's definitely not more way impactful, but I'm telling you to the rest.
I'm telling you to the rest of us. Okay, Jess, I'm just saying
to
the rest of us.
My bad. Is like Nas.
I let you give your sermon.
He definitely don't like Illmatic.
Okay, yo, let Just Blaze talk, y'all. Let Just go.
Hold up, Jess and Nick. This is y'all fault.
Go ahead, Jess.
All I'm saying is that this is an interesting conversation, and I was talking about this 2 nights ago on here. Is that it was written when it came out, was to a certain degree shunned because it was sonically so much different from Illmatic. But the same way you see a different appreciation on or for like American Gangster. I'm not drawing any parallels. No, sorry, not American Gangster. What was the grown-up album? Kingdom Come. I've seen a shift in the conversation regarding that, and I've seen a shift in the conversation regarding it was written very heavily over like the past 10 years. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing.
What's the shift of Kingdom Come?
The shift that I've seen in Kingdom Come is that as that audience who got it when they were younger didn't understand it, or maybe understand what he was talking about, or just couldn't identify with it, have a new appreciation for it now. What my
you talking about 444?
No,
he said Kingdom
Come. He's talking about Kingdom Come.
I don't want to make this about one album versus the other. I'm just drawing a parallel. is that the conversation has changed. What my social media or what my outward outreach looked like or public correspondence looked like when Kingdom Come came out versus what I get about that album now is very, very different. And I think in regards to that album, I think it was a lot of it was due to a maturation process on the audience side, because I think that people weren't ready to really hear adult contemporary hip hop from him at that point. And with It Was Written, I think that what happened was a whole different generation came to love that album because they were able to take it for what it was without having the Illmatic imprint on them.
I can agree with that.
A lot of people that didn't like Illmatic, they wanted, that didn't like It Was Written, wanted another Illmatic. And when they didn't get that, it was an immediate revolt, no matter how good or bad It Was Written was. I feel like there's another generation that came to love that album, and they're like, yo, I fuck with that more than the first shit. And that's why the conversation has changed regarding that album.
I get that parallel.
It's about
I'm
to
not
be
mad
some
at
shit
that.
in this room now, boy. That
No.
Glass say something. Glad you say something. That crazy nigga Frank Joe, this motherfucker, boy. You say something about the New York shit now, nigga.
Man,
It's gonna be some shit, this motherfucker.
Man, check this out, cuz. I bought Onyx records like every other nigga, cuz.
Fred
I'm
Joe
the
is
same
up in
fuck.
this bitch.
He said he finna New York your ass, nigga. Yeah.
Feel me? I done bought Onyx records like every other nigga in this motherfucker.
No, we ain't talking about Onyx. We just talk about New York, nigga. That's a real greasy. That's a greasy New York nigga right there.
So back to my motherfucking point, right? This is what I'm saying. This is my point. I'm saying